Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Seasonal Tokens Podcast, where Polar interviews people so you can do more investing and less gambling.
Like you just said, Zach, you are a very big Bitcoin believer, which is great and understandable. And I'm sure that you have heard many things about Bitcoin, good and bad, of course. So I'm more interested in the myths that you have heard. Have you heard a lot of myths about Bitcoin that you think people should know about and we should bust them right now?
A lot of what?
Myths, like common myths.
Oh, myths.
Yeah.
Like myths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. There's some myths out there like, we're going to have these very fast computers that are going to be able to crack the wallet keys, and then that's going to cause everybody to lose their Bitcoin. And, that's a big myth out there. The cryptography in Bitcoin is so complex. Computers will be able to hack into nuclear power plants, into electrical grids, far, far sooner than they would be able to hack into Bitcoin wallets, right? Because the cryptography is just so much more complex. So that's a big myth out there that I see. Another one is, Bitcoin is using so much electricity to mine the Bitcoin that it's horrible for the environment. Well, in fact, the banking industry uses much, much more electricity than Bitcoin does. And Bitcoin is actually better for the environment because it's using very clean energy. It's, for example, our Bitcoin mining fund, we are looking at partnering with the natural gas provider. They're currently flaring excess natural gas into the atmosphere, which is what natural gas providers do, right? If they have excess gas that they're pulling out of the ground that exceeds the capacity for the pipeline they're shipping the gas in, they just flare it into the atmosphere, which is not good for the environment. But, with Bitcoin mining, they can now sell that gas to the Bitcoin miner, convert it to electricity, and it's a total win-win. It's a win for them. They're making money off of gas that wasn't being flared into the atmosphere. It's a win for the environment. The atmosphere is being cleaner, and it's a win for the Bitcoin miner. So that's another big myth that's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the second one has been one of the most popular myths out there. Honestly, I haven't heard about the first myth that you just said, but I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are very concerned about that, and that's why they are not starting with Bitcoin. But like we said, in most of the cases, like if you don't want to do something, you'll find 1,000 explanations why it shouldn't be like that, right?
Yeah, you can justify, if you're really not into it, you'll come up with a reason why you're not into it. But
yeah, like I'm sorry for what I'm going to say right now, but I'm going to say it. And it is that excuses are like your ass. You always have it, right? So I'm sorry if this is a bad joke, but I think it's very similar with what we're currently talking. So if you don't want to do something, just don't do it. Don't find reasons why not to, just don't do it. Okay, so let's get back to the serious stuff. This is a crypto investing podcast, and mainly, like I mentioned in the conversation before our call, we're trying to help people to navigate this stormy crypto world, because most of people are not investing only in Bitcoin, they're investing in a lot of altcoins, and this makes it harder for them, let's say. So this involves a lot of gambling. I'm sure that you agree with me. So my question for you, and actually this is my most favorite question, and I ask all of our guests here. So Zach, how do you think a person can do more investing rather than gambling in crypto?
Well, I think if you put your emotion aside and you do your due diligence and you really research, let's say you want to invest in an altcoin or whatever it is, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or seasonal tokens or another coin, I believe you need to be a believer in that coin. And when you believe in the long-term value proposition of that coin, you'll have the confidence to hold that coin through the downturn, right? If, on the other hand, you're just speculating, you think, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money in the short term. If it doesn't work out, you're going to get nervous when the price drops. You're going to sell at a loss, which is what most investors do. But if you really, it's like investing in the stock market. For example, if you really believe in Tesla, right, and you really think, well, this, Elon Musk is a genius and he knows what he's doing and he's revolutionizing the auto industry and he's creating this whole new EV sector. And so you buy Tesla, regardless of what the price of Tesla is. If you truly believe that they're going to continue to revolutionize the industry and grow market share, you'll ride out that downturn. So it's the same concept. So with Bitcoin or with altcoins, if you really believe in that cryptocurrency, you're not speculating, you're riding it out for the long term. And so that's my belief, is to be a long-term holder.
Okay, great. So Zach, do you think that there are also other steps included that someone should take in order to have a higher chance of a successful crypto investment career?
Well, I think, you do your due diligence, with respect to, let's say, Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. You evaluate, well, do I just want to buy it on the spot market? Do I believe in mining? Do I believe in dollar cost averaging in? You look at it from a timing standpoint too. If you want to drill down that far, right? If you're not going to dollar cost average, if you're just going to say, well, I just want to put a lump sum in, how am I going to invest that? When am I going to invest that? For example, if you were looking at it back at the end of last year, trying to time the market, I think, is always difficult. But maybe if you were seeing everybody talk about crypto and it being hyped up everywhere, maybe you could have recognized, hey, this might be a top. Maybe I should cool my jets, wait and see if the price comes down a little, right? Versus on the other hand, if there's fear in the marketplace, if there's blood in the streets, right? They say that's the best time to buy if you're a long time holder. So with all the negativity from the crypto crash, if you're able to be a contrarian and if you are a long-term believer, that's when Warren Buffett likes to buy, when there's blood in the streets, when the prices really come down, because he's a long-term believer in what he's buying.
Yeah, absolutely. And a very good seller also. He definitely has a lot of information that gives him the right points to sell, or maybe he has his own targets. But yeah, what you're saying is also very important in the perspective of we should follow those leaders that have a long career in investing, not those that consider themselves influencers or something like that, or early experts, because we know that it's rarely the case. And I think one of the problems in our industry right now is that most of the current investors are following these guys and not following the principles of guys like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, or guys like that have a lot more experience, and they're somehow written the principles of investing, right?
Right. That's right. Yeah. And I think it is important to look at these older investors who have been in the game for a very long time. So, like Ray Dalio, I mean, he's come out and said positive things about crypto and about Bitcoin. Bill Miller, one of the biggest hedge fund investors, had a hugely successful career in mutual funds, I should say, as a mutual fund manager. And he recently did an interview saying his personal portfolio is just 50% Amazon, 50% Bitcoin. So it's just, which I found incredible, but, so he's a big believer. But I think, yeah, regardless of who you believe in, it's important to look at some of these old horses who have been in the game a long time.
Yeah, those with proven success, not those that are just talking that are successful, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because this worries me in most of the cases, that there is someone that is saying that he's a very successful investor, but he doesn't show his results. This is the biggest red flag for me in most of these influencers videos. It's very scary how people believe these guys, and I don't know if this is true, but I believe that some of these guys are doing that, like talking about different coins only because they want to sell for profit. But this is just my opinion, and I hope that I'm wrong, but I doubt.
Oh, I think you're totally right. I mean, I think that's kind of a scam with a lot of these, altcoins is the pump and dump,
Yeah.
right? They pump it up. They're issued tokens before it really gets blasted out and open to the public. Then they pump it up, drive up the price, and dump it. And
yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, we know that there are some people that have become millionaires thanks to this scheme. So it is, for some people, it's opportunity. For some other people, it's a very good losing opportunity. So it's always going to be the case, but it's fine. Like everyone has the choice to make research or not to make research and invest blindly. And that's why, like, our goal on this podcast is to bring experts like you with experience of at least a few years that are just not saying like buy this only because I buy it, but because they have their own logical reasoning. And from all that have been part of our podcast, including you, no one has ever said buy this because I'm buying it. Like we all say, do your diligence, make your research, and make your choice.
Yeah.